This is literally what I mean by the world is your mirror. You can find yourself through your choices when I buy this, or if you really admire the way someone speaks, someone's body language. These are really all the cues and the mirrors that if you pay attention to them, you can get to your potential way more quickly. But it is somewhat a cheat code that so many people don't know about it. Hello everybody, so welcome to another video. My name is Edith, and today we're gonna talk about the fact that if you see something beautiful in another person, let's say if you love their humor, or if you love how they're just going for something and not caring about what other people think, or if you feel like they have just very specific quality that you've noticed, this quality is already inside you because you have been able to recognize it so deeply, and your nervous system is already telling you, basically giving you the hints, like, hey, this is something that is a potential for you inside, so you want to just develop it because you can. There is the living potential in you if you want to be as funny as someone else, if you want to be as successful as someone else. And I wanted to develop this idea because it's not only in a good side, but it can also be in the other side. It can be in the side where you're triggered by them, and you're not quite sure why. Like, you might be triggered by them because they're just not living up to their potential. You might be triggered by them because they're not as successful as they would like to be. They're maybe not doing as much work as their ambition is, and they're just talking so much. Recently, I have been having a conversation with one of my friends, or just people that I've met, and I really noticed that I really didn't like how they have been not consistent with their words and with their action. And I do have a challenge for myself personally, that I want to wake up early again. And I remember that when he was talking about working out, and I haven't seen him work out at all, but he would be still talking about it, so that he knows all the benefits, and that just comes with working out daily. He would still not do anything about it. And I was really thinking that I was really triggered by it. I wasn't just thinking like, you know, it felt even like I was involved, like as if I was really mad about that person not following through what he says. And then I asked myself, like, why am I so, like, why does it bother me so much? Like, if you're not a person that uses curse words, but then someone else uses curse words, you're like, it's not really it's not really connected to you in any way. So it might seem repulsive for you, or you might feel detached from that person, you because you just don't feel like you're one of them, or you just don't feel like um you like that kind of communication. So but you're not, there is nothing that would be connected to you, because it doesn't bother you, because you're not using curse words, and no one ever complained about you using curse words, no one ever, and you are not complaining, or you're not bothered by your own self that you would use those curse words, because you're not using them. And so it has nothing to do with you, basically. So it cannot have really any influence over you. But when you are attached to it somehow, like even unconsciously, it is connected with you, and it is having an influence on you, even though you might feel that it's not the influence. It could be just the fact that he's really not following through what he says. but actually it might be something within you. That's what I asked myself, because it really was like bothering me, and I was really seeing the potential, but it wasn't ceased. And so, not only because I'm having this channel and I love when people are going forwards to their potential, but I also love when they're just simply following through their words. And that's what I want also for myself. And then I remembered this thing about waking up. So in that moment, I was like, that's why it feels so connected to me. That's why it touches me so much, because it really bothers me that I, for example, don't follow through on all the days in the week of waking up really early, because I know the benefits. And then I think this was when I journaled about it, and when I literally um, recorded voice notes. Also, when I'm sometimes on the go, I don't have time to journal that much, and so I journal only in the morning. Um, this is a new journaling method that I started to do, and it seems really that it's working. So I might try it for 1 month more, and then I'm gonna do a video about it, like a review of how this works. However, when I'm on the go, I also started to record voice notes. It depends on what is comfortable for you. Honestly, I don't mind talking out loud. When people are passing by, it would be different if I was, talking in a cafe and there would be someone else also alone, and he would be literally listening to the conversation. Um, but on the walk, it's really almost like a healing ritual. Usually, forests are not that crowded. If you do have a forest, or you do have a path, that is long enough so that you can really have a good walk, I really recommend that. And you can think about what is triggering you in other people. And also, I don't want to talk about only the negative stuff, definitely. I want to talk about also the good stuff. What is inspiring you and other people? Maybe someone is dressing so good that you just can't take your eyes out of that person. Maybe this is saying to you something. It doesn't have to be people in real life, it can be role models. What is so amazing about the person that you really like, about the actor that you really like? What is amazing about the singer that is your most favorite? Like, why do you like people? Why do you like things? And you can write it down. Literally, you can ask yourself this question and just answer it, either on a voice memo or on the paper. And it really will tell you so much about yourself. It will really give you so many cues, so many pointed fingers where to go. And obviously, it will lead you, some directions will be completely opposite, or might be opposite. So you always want to choose the one that is most that you feel most joy in, either by doing or thinking. I would recommend try all of them, though. Literally try it all. If you are interested, if you are like so struck by someone's outfit that you really just are thinking about it the day after, maybe you really want to try something in fashion, like you want to try it. It's your curiosity is like your GPS. And if you are interested, if someone has written such a beautiful book, and you're just in awe, you can't stop thinking about it, maybe you want to also start writing something. And obviously, it's not going to be, or it might not be that pleasant in the beginnings, because anything that is new and we're not that amazing in it, we get frustrated, and the frustration is super negative. And that's why you want to develop also a very high, or at least higher, um, tolerance to frustration. And you do that by, for example, doing hard workouts. You can really make yourself way more resilient by that. That's just a tip, but it does work. And this is basically another way of how to get hints about who you are from the world. Because, and as I was speaking in my previous video, it's called hang out with people, or yeah, like why you should basically hang out more with people. Because people and places and everything basically is just a mirror to you. It's like it's like everything is a hint giver. You get hints by your reactions to something, and the best hints are always the most unconscious reactions, like the reactions where you just don't even think about it, but you're already like in awe, or you're already so like triggered by it. As for example, I was with that guy who just was really talking about it again and again, and yet there was no action. And I was really, really triggered by it. Also, I was triggered by it because of my old self. And maybe there might be still some things that I need to solve, that I need to heal within myself. And it's really not about solving it all, it's just about noticing it and being on top of it. Like, not being ruled and governed by your triggers, and being like a puppet of your own triggers, and just being aware of that. And the moment you become aware of that, there is a shift already. It loses part of its power, and it's really amazing what can you do only by observing, only by being more aware and just slowing down and just really noticing, while being grounded and while being calm about it. And then you can journal about it, you can talk about it with your therapist, or you can just talk about it out loud. And that's already what loses its power. You're giving it already a form, and you're letting it go. You're letting it go by writing it out on the paper. You're letting it go. When you can verbalize your problems, when you can verbalize anything and you can explain it clearly, that means you understand it. And just by the fact that you understand it, you are already owning it. You're just very clear about what's wrong, or what's wrong, what just might need a little adjustment. And then you can, by that understanding, take action. And that's the whole process. And this is the process of self growth basically. And I find, I had to show you this. For example, I was on a market, and i have I have seen a stand where there were so many pictures of landscape. Like, it was a guy who was just basically doing landscapes, I would say, and maybe some like abstract paintings. And I saw this painting, and I was literally just looking right at it all the time. And there were so many beautiful paintings. This is like I don't know. I would say it's very abstract, and you kind of don't know what it is, but that's what I like about it. And so maybe I might ask myself, okay, so why am I actually in love with the fact that there is like half of the violin, there's just a sign of piano, and it's all very like unorganized. Well, maybe I like when nothing is put into boxes. Maybe I like when things are in this motion, and it feels like flow. All right, so why? And then I can journal about it. And this is how you get to know yourself, because you weren't thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about this rationally, buying this art rationally. I just bought it. And that's exactly the moment where if you do something like this, or if you are moved by something, if you just all of you, if you can't stop, crying from a movie or from even piece of music, you can like journal about it. And um this is literally what I mean by the world is your mirror, because you can find yourself through your choices when I buy this, or if you really admire the way someone speaks, someone's body language. These are really all the cues and the mirrors that if you pay attention to them, you can, I don't want to say get to your potential way more quickly, but it is somewhat a cheat code that so many people don't know about it. It's not in their options even, because it requires a lot of lots of presence, and it requires a lot of curiosity. I know this quote, and it says, "If you are too curious, you'll get older sooner." Honestly, I don't think that's true. Definitely, it is directed towards gossiping. It is directed towards toxic conversations. But if you're curious in the good stuff, in yourself, in something that has pure intentions, you'll get actually younger, because you'll get more cheerful, you'll get more joyful, because you will understand yourself more, and there is no time for confusion then. There's just time for peace and for enjoying the life, because you just know where you are, where you stand, and it's one of the best feelings. I'm not there yet neither. I don't think that we will ever get there, but I believe that it is just about the intention of getting there. And yeah, so this is just my little reminder to be more observant of what you like, of what um, makes you curious, of what makes you admire something or someone. It might give you another hint of who you are, and therefore it can give you the direction towards your potential. So yeah, also, if you want to talk about you and this whole topic more, you can definitely book a call with me. It's for free. It's going to be in the link under this video. And you can also join our community on Skool. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Stay awesome, and I'll see you very soon.